Howdy YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Gunman. So this video here, we're going to be doing a flow coat on the bonnet and tailgate for this BA Ford Falcon ute that we've been restoring here at work. So we've done a full bare metal restoration and rust repairs on this Ford Falcon. And look, originally we were thinking maybe sand it back and polish it, but after it dawned on me how long that was going to take, I realized that a quick flow coat is a much better way of achieving near on just as good a finish if you're good enough. So I've got my opinions on that and we'll go through that later. But yeah, so basically the idea of a flow coat, if you do not know, it is sanding your clear coat down but not cutting through to the color. Now if you do cut through that clear coat to the color and damage the color, you will need to apply a little bit more base coat here and there as required. But yes, a experienced technician should be pretty right to, it's no different than prepping up a blend. Essentially, you may want to potentially hit it with something a little bit coarser, depending on the level of peel that you're trying to remove. So anyone that has sort of done spray painting before will know that you do come across some issues when you are spray painting, like orange peel and dieback and pullback and gloss drop. Potentially even solvent boil. Personally, I think solvent boil is one of, if not the worst imperfection that you can get. I definitely think it's one of the worst, and it flies under the radar because you can sort of hide it. But yes, that's sort of another little tangent that I will not go on. But yeah, the clear coat that we're using is the PPG LDC 131. I absolutely love this clear. It is absolutely ideal for a panel shop environment. It's high quality, it flows out nice, and it also dries well. So it'll dry like after a half-hour bake. It'll be pretty safe for the guys to put together. So it's sort of, it hits the mark on most of the metrics. So one thing that I have found is like the higher gloss clears, the ones that retain like the best gloss, they generally do take a little bit longer to dry. So that's one of the trade-offs. But this clear here, the 131, just seems to hit everything in the right spot, if that makes sense. So it's not too slow to dry. You know, it's good in a panel shop environment, but it's also got that really good gloss retention. And yeah, if you guys hang around and, obviously subscribe and continue to watch the channel, I'll give you guys a look at this car when it's all finished. And I actually haven't got any footage at the moment, but the gloss retention on this was incredible, especially considering I smashed it on so hard. But again, I'm always concerned and aware of solvent boil, and I do everything in my powers to avoid getting it. So a few things that can sort of help you avoid solvent boil is making sure that your clear coat is nice and warm if it's a cold day. And here in Melbourne, most of the year, I do need to get a little bit of heat into that clear coat. Now, I personally found a microwave on Hard Rubbish. I was driving down the street, I saw this microwave, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be perfect. So I just heat my clear coat up. On this one here, I got it up to 35. So one thing that I noticed on a stinking hot day, I was painting on a stinking hot day here in Melbourne, it was 35 degrees. The clear coat was obviously 35 degrees too. And I'm like, man, that's one of the best clear coat jobs I've ever done. The clear just flowed out, it held the best gloss. And I think a few things that are happening. So you basically thin the clear down without putting thinners in it. It's just like your engine. Obviously, warm engine oil is going to be thinner, right? But it's also drying better in between coats. So part of solvent boil is trapping those solvents underneath. And obviously, having a warm booth and warm clear helps the gases release between coats. So that's another thing to consider. But yeah, onto the spray gun. The spray gun I'm using is the ANI Tronic in a 1.3. Have a look at the way that clear coat flowed out. Like, absolutely amazing. Nearly, like, that is borderline. Like that, any wetter and you're getting solvent boil. And actually on this bonnet, I got a big sort of a run hanging off one of those swage lines on this side over here. I don't think I even noticed it until after I baked it. But another very important thing, when you're going for these kinds of finishes, like leave it for 10 minutes before you bake it, and when you do bake it, just bake it for like 45-50 degrees and just let it gas out overnight. Tell all the polishers or the fitters, just say leave it overnight. Like, you know, you can't rush perfection, and when you're looking for these kinds of finishes, you're not touching it that same day. I'd make rules, you know. I'm like, hey, look, it's gonna have to dry overnight, just so be it, you know. But sometimes you do have to do stuff like this in like to fix a issue, right? And the car's going in a panel shop environment, so sometimes you do have to force dry it and use maybe a faster clear or something like that. In those cases, look, you've got to do what you got to do, but look, in the ideal world, you would be saying don't touch it. But there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. I feel like I didn't touch on some of the things that I did want to touch on, but it's a little bit of a shorter video than usual. And I'd just like to let you guys know that there's going to be more frequent uploads. Previously I had a little bit of a break, but I feel reinvigorated. I've actually put a set amount of time aside each week and got into a good routine of getting back on the edit. So yeah, you can look forward to weekly vids and potentially even more depending on how much I can smash out. But until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out.